Blake, I told you, girl, the call is coming from inside the fucking house. Pick up. Ryan Reynolds is saying he doesn't need to be here. He didn't ask for this. He doesn't have shit to do with it. Than being a supportive spouse who has witnessed firsthand the emotional, reputational, and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered. So y'all are broke. If y'all are broke, just say that. Just say you can't pay these lawyers. I know it ain't cheap. Paying lawyer fees for 3 months. You truly believe you don't have nothing to do with this? Your lawyer should have dismissed you from this case from get-go. But no, you all thought you were gonna get away with all the crap. Now that it's not looking good for you, you want a little separation. That's your wife. You're gonna stick beside her. That's the bone of your bone, the rib of your rib. That's yours forever and ever.
Hey y'all, it doesn't look like this situation with Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni are going to end in anything other than chaos, because the moment we start thinking that we've heard the last of it, some more drama pops up, and it gets even more chaotic than we assumed was possible. Ryan Reynolds has been quite loud about how he has his wife's back and how he's going to stand 10 toes down with his wife because he truly believes that she's in the right. He has been praising her for doing the right thing by standing up for herself in the face of trouble, which made him seem like the most perfect husband in the world. But it looks like we might be wrong about that, because word on the streets is that there is a new video swirling around that proves that Blake pretty much strong-armed Ryan into declaring her support for her because she believed that it would do good for her public image in the face of Justin Baldoni exposing her.
Her attorney said that we should get those by the end of next week. And now, of course, from Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, we heard a little bit about their plan, too. He talked about how they want this case moving forward as quickly as possible.
Ryan Reynolds is one of Hollywood's biggest stars, beloved by many. But it seems Blake Lively may have been counting on that admiration to sway public opinion in her favor. However, the backlash appears to be overwhelming for Ryan, as he has now filed a motion to remove himself from the lawsuit. Notably, he isn't trying to get the case dismissed, just himself. This move suggests he may be fed up with Blake pressuring him to take a side. So, does this mean Justin Baldoni was innocent all along? And has Ryan been covering for Blake? Let's break it all down.
I know why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds stepped out for the first time since all the drama to the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary. At the end of the day, this is all for PR.
A film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out, and I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable.
Okay.
Is Ryan Reynolds
mean?
like he's
Canadian?
Look, you punch a couple hundred orphans and suddenly you're mean. This is what
Ryan has been firmly standing by Blake's side throughout this entire case, so the news that he wants out came as a complete shock. And not just a little, he wants out badly. He even filed a motion with the court to have himself removed, arguing that the case has nothing to do with him and that Justin should have never involved him in the first place. For context, Ryan got dragged into the drama after taking shots at Justin in Deadpool and Wolverine, which seemingly escalated tensions even further.
Reynolds, has seemingly done, right, is used his power and influence to not only help Blake Lively take over this movie, he's used it, on Deadpool to make fun of Justin Baldoni.
Oh, I'm Deadpool. And I guess you're Deadpool too. But in here, everybody calls me Nice Pool. Oh my goodness, wait till you see Lady Pool. She is gorgeous. She just had a baby too, and can't even tell. I don't think you're supposed to say that. That's okay. I identify as a feminist.
The drama surrounding Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, and Justin Baldoni has officially hit another level. Justin claims that the Deadpool and Wolverine character Nice Pool, introduced at the end of the film, was meant to mock him, and has now pulled Marvel, Disney, and Ryan into the lawsuit. According to reports, attorney Brian Friedman sent a legal letter to Marvel boss Kevin Feige and Disney CEO Bob Iger, accusing Reynolds of taking a direct shot at Baldoni. In the scene, Reynolds' character sarcastically asks, "Where in God's name is the intimacy coordinator?" and praises Lady Deadpool for bouncing back after childbirth, adding feminism. Baldoni reportedly believes this was a calculated jab at him for branding himself as a feminist during It Ends With Us promotions. Friedman's letter demands Disney and Marvel preserve all documents related to any deliberate attempt to mock, harass, ridicule, intimidate, or bully Baldoni through Nice Pool. It also hints at potential legal claims like interference with contracts and civil extortion. But here's where it gets messier. Ryan, in his court filing, didn't even deny that the character was inspired by Baldoni. Instead, he dismissed Baldoni's lawsuit, claiming it's based on thin-skinned outrage over a satirical movie character. Insiders say Baldoni's legal team is now digging into the film's funding and investigating who within Marvel and Disney was aware of this alleged bullying during production. To make things worse for Ryan, His admission that Nice Pool was based on Justin has now dragged Hugh Jackman, the directors, producers, and even Disney into the mess. But Ryan is trying to get himself removed from the case, arguing in his legal motion that he was simply a supportive spouse who witnessed the emotional, reputational, and financial devastation Blake endured. An insider revealed that Ryan also accused Baldoni of trying to shame him for being a man who listens to the women in his life and stands with them. However, Ryan's legal team is doubling down on the claim that Justin is a predator, arguing that it isn't defamation because Ryan genuinely believes it to be true. Court documents state that unless Baldoni can prove Ryan didn't believe his statement, there's no defamation case. But Baldoni's lawyer fired back, calling Ryan's motion BS and accusing him of exploiting his power in Hollywood to destroy Justin's career. The lawyer claims Reynolds played a key role in getting WME to drop Justin as a client and that his fingerprints are all over this smear campaign. He also accused Ryan of trying to run from the fire he started. Meanwhile, fans are now speculating that the only reason Ryan got involved in the first place was that Blake pressured him into it. Rumors are swirling that Blake believed her case would be easier if she had her powerful husband backing her up. And let's not forget her now infamous text to Justin, where she reportedly compared herself to Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, saying, "If you ever get around to watching Game of Thrones, you'll appreciate that I'm Daenerys. And like her, I happen to have a few dragons, for better or worse, but usually for better. Because my dragons also protect those I fight for. So really, we all benefit from those gorgeous monsters of mine. You will too, I can promise." Looks like those dragons might be breathing fire in the wrong direction.
Says Baldoni's lawsuit won't hold up in court. He says him referring to Baldoni as a predator is constitutionally protected opinion. Blake's husband also rips Baldoni's lawsuit as essentially a burned book and claims Justin is trying to shame him for sticking up for his wife. Ryan, I'm still waiting for you to show us one single text message between you and Blake within the time of production that shows her distress, her discomfort, her pain, her suffering, anything. You're telling me your wife was being SH'd at work and you guys did not talk about it in text, in email one time? And I don't want to hear he was on set. He was on set a few times. There were multiple days of production where he was filming Deadpool and she was on set with Justin. You knew this whole time. You've been paying lawyer fees for 3 months.
Rumors are swirling that even Blake Lively's own husband isn't safe from her alleged bullying, forcing him to back her up in legal battles because it benefits her public image. But if you've been paying attention, this isn't the first time Blake has been accused of being a bully. Word on the street is that she was so awful to a former assistant during the filming of A Simple Favor that the assistant ultimately quit. Yikes. But the real bombshell came when the film's assistant director, Barbara Seaman, randomly decided to spill some behind-the-scenes tea. It all started when A Simple Favor star Henry Golding posted about the upcoming sequel, Another Simple Favor. That's when Barbara slid into the comments and casually dropped a truth bomb, saying she actually walked away from the first movie because of how Blake treated her. And let's be clear, this isn't just some random online gossip. This came from someone who was actually on set. Barbara wrote, "I worked with you on the first one. My experience with everyone was absolutely amazing. Except for a certain someone who is the reason I quit being an AD. Guess who that person is? I wish you all the best with this, though." She later deleted the comment, but we all know the internet never forgets. In fact, she received so much support that she ended up sharing even more details, saying, "Thanks for the kindness. I want to avoid attention around this, but I will say, she was cruel to many. I know I cried my way home many nights because you try so hard to please someone who is never pleased and puts you down constantly. I can't believe it's finally catching up to her. Karma is real." And Barbara isn't the only one making these claims. A former crew member from Gossip Girl backed up similar allegations, revealing, "Unfortunately, my experience with Blake was not good. She came across as a bully. When fans wanted pictures, Leighton Meester was always available, but Blake never had the time. With the crew, it was worse. She spoke to them like they were toddlers. If she didn't get what she wanted, she'd start making a scene, being disrespectful and rude. I saw how she treated other people on set, and it wasn't a good vibe at all. I'm not trying to bash her, just sharing my experience." And this was back in 2010, long before Justin Baldoni. So if people from different places, at different times, all have the same experience with her, what does that say? But it doesn't stop there. Baldoni's team claims to have receipts of Blake being a mean girl and a bully, and they're ready to release them. In a statement, Baldoni's team said, "We are releasing all the evidence that will show a pattern of bullying and threats to take control of the movie. None of this will come as a surprise. because consistent with her past behavior, Blake Lively used other people to communicate those threats and bully her way into getting whatever she wanted. We have all the receipts, and more. If these allegations hold weight, Blake might have a much bigger problem on her hands than just a legal battle.
You believe you don't have nothing to do with this? Your lawyer should have dismissed you from this case from get-go. But no, you all thought you were gonna get away with all the crap. Now that it's not looking good for you, you want a little separation. That's your wife. You're gonna stick beside her. That's the bone of your bone, the rib of your rib. That's yours forever and ever. You're going down together. That should be a song. I just want to see the one text message. She texted you saying, Ryan, today's hard for me. Justin came in my trailer and he looked at me, what I said, with his head full of hair. And yeah, and then I invited him on the jet with us and with me and the kids because I was so scared of him. Show me one text message and I'm Team Blake. But you don't got it. See you in 2026.
On the street is that Blake's alleged bullying is the real reason Ryan got dragged into this mess in the first place. Oh, and remember that SNL joke? Looks like it might have aged a little too well.
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Reynolds and Blake Lively have been in the news a lot, and Ryan Reynolds, we want to know, was that an improv or was it scripted, his little piece he did?
That was actually, he had a different line in rehearsal and he pitched that to replace it. So that was his idea to do it. We wouldn't want to do anything too controversial unless they were in on it. So yeah, that was his line. That was his idea to do it.
Yeah, that seemed like that might be the latest move.
What did you think when you saw, Ryan, make light of the situation? I guess try to find some humor in all this.
I'm unaware of anybody, frankly, whose wife has been sexually harassed and has made jokes about that type of situation.
Yeah,
I can't think of anyone who's done anything like that, and so it surprised me.
What's the meeting like when you're discussing with Disney the jokes about Disney?
The fun story would be that Disney was just appalled at everything and was never going to let us do anything. But that's on one hand. On the other hand, money. They had a lot of faith in us to deliver and to self-govern. So yes, there's jokes in there that I personally cannot believe they let us.
And in fairness, because we were like the kind of good boy students turning in our script every once in a while, and every time we sent a script, we were like kind of waiting, and the pushback never came. And it became clear that on this movie, funny wins.
Really, there was one joke, one line that they asked me to take out.
When I was on set, I was like, there's no way that's going to be it.
Yeah, I have a joke about Hugh that I couldn't believe he let me say in the movie. So that passes. I was like, wow, he let that go.
Ryan just might have bitten off more than he can chew, but I want to know how y'all feel about this, so drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next video.